compensation plan on the planet. Everybody's saying it. You keep saying that same phrase, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. The people in this state will tune you out. Because how many times have been to a Zango, a Noni, a Zri, a Zija, any other meeting in which what's been said? We've got the best what? Comp plan in the industry. They use the phrase, we've got the distributors with 765 years of combined experience in the industry. Good for you, because everyone else is saying the same thing. Do you know why nobody gives a rip about what service you give anymore? Because saying we give good service is expected. Our organization's been around since 1922 and we give good service. Good for you, and that's probably why I'm not going to do business with you, because there's a whole lot of things I probably already know about you. You don't know how to use technology. You have no clue about email. You don't even have a fathomable clue about social networking. And the idea of being vulnerable and true, you are still stuck in 1908. I saw a billboard in Salt Lake City. It was a marketing company celebrating 100 years. And their billboard was up and it said, so-and-so marketing company celebrating 100 years. And I said, guaranteed those guys are going down. Just looking at the graphic design of the branding of their business, it's completely archaic. Now, here's a cool thing. Do you guys have a cool look here? Totally. McCullough's brand, and the look of the brand. I mean, before I even knew who you guys were, I'm driving around, what the freaking McCullough? Dude, these guys, like, bought every billboard in the state of Utah. Like, they're like the Bank of Utah. Remember when Bank of Utah did that in Salt Lake? I was like, my goodness, are they a bank? Like, what do they do? Are they like a ninja class? Or like, I don't know what it is. Then I came to find out what McCullough was through Randy, Bruce's brother, who experienced what we're doing here. And I did it just down the road with a group called REIC Global. And Chris Crone, one of my dear soul brothers, and their organization. That's why we're even here. And when I came into their organization in this first meeting, how did they respond? Not nearly as good as you have. They were completely resistant, to the point of people walking out, half the group left. People were screaming and upset. I had people making blog posts all over about how I was the devil, and I was this, and I was bad, and I was wrong, and Garrett's this, and he's that. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. And then we did another one. And then 6 months later, their company went from $3 million to $22 million in value, and the employees are on fire to be there. You want to know what it's like? Go walk down 800 North and go spend a day in their office. Go to their Monday morning meeting, and this is how it is. And it's a regular experience for people to be connected, to be driven by purpose, to stand as leaders where they are assigned in the business. They don't wait for somebody else to tell them what to do. They show up as leaders. You don't have to wait for Doug to give you permission. Do you get this? But you'll do that until you believe in who?
Amen. Yeah, definitely.
One of the things that we're great at doing is helping people see their patterns. That's it. That's what me and my organization do. That's what we're committed to. And right now we get to be linchpins in it. Rainmakers, heretics. I get to say all the things you're thinking. But you won't say. For a while. What do you think would happen if people came to your tribe on a weekly basis and we spent time on your product and you spent time on your comp plan? What might happen to your business if people had this intangible, transformative experience when they came to play with you at intro meetings? What might happen?
They'd come every week.
They come every week.
For every day.
Do you know what's crazy? Do you know what the success of Quick Start Amway was? It wasn't their product. My mother and father stayed on auto ship with Amway for 12 years and enrolled 11 people. And we had the coolest, white labeled everything you could imagine in my house. I hated it because we also had powder milk, and my soap sucked. And my product sucked. And I asked my parents, and I can remember my parents would drag me to these meetings, and they'd have these big, huge monster trucks. And they'd have guys like Zig Ziglar come in, and they would do these Saturday trainings, and it was like a religion for my parents. And they would go, and my folks would go to these meetings, and they were all fired up, and I asked my mom and dad recently, I was like, why did you guys stay on auto ship for that long? I mean, we struggled financially, and you guys were still committed to staying on auto ship. And they said, because when we went to meetings, we felt like we were at family. People cared about us. Our marriage got better. Our relationship with you kids got better. We felt closer to God. We felt more committed to our marriage and ourselves. I felt more empowered, and I didn't have anywhere to go, and I wasn't getting it at church, and I wasn't getting it from my friends, and I wasn't getting it from my neighborhood, and Amway gave it to us, and so we went. I thought that was interesting. Now, what happens if you've got a product that rocks, and you've got a culture that's on fire. And a comp plan that rocks. Yeah. But here's the problem, and this is why the sequence of what I'm committed to assisting you guys with is this. There are 3 phases a person you are engaging with must engage with you at in order to be in the tribe. Okay? It's different than running a herd. A herd has no brain. Right? Herd are like a bunch of sheep. What are we doing? Wherever. And how do they move sheep herds? Push them. And dogs are constantly sheep dogs. We had one. Thought I was a sheep. I hate that dog because it was my brother's dog, and my brother and I didn't get along so well then. So in the space of using a herd, if you build a herd, guess what you have to always fall back into? Hype and motivation. You have to convert them to not even think that it's possible that there could be another juice that was as good as yours. That there's not even a possibility that there are other people who are genuine, who are loving, and are committed to connection outside of Makoa. Or outside of your church. Or outside of your family. Everybody else must suck because you got it all figured out. Now when you open up the space, what you start to experience is what? Hey, you know what? So, cool. So if your life's working really well, how come you came? Like, how can I serve you? And it's not about you bonging one of our bottles of juice right now. What I really need to find out is, like, I'm here. I'm a human being. Like, I care about you. So, talk to me. What's up? I'm here to listen. And all of a sudden they listen, and do you create more opportunity or less when you do that? More. And do people start to let go of being right? Yes. And all of a sudden you're at a place where people can use the one gift they've been given. It's the gift of choice. When you want to be right, you want to take away people's choices. You want to have them believe this is the only choice. The only choice. This is the only choice. And it's rooted by fear and scarcity and doubt and worry. And when you build a toxic tribe based upon those energies, it can never last. So if what Bruce is saying is true here, and you're trying to do things different, is this different, what we've done today? And I'm going to add the capstone piece to this, and we're going to talk about the next 7 days. There's going to be an invitation to play. I'm a person that requires people to choose in. Because what happens when you force somebody to play?
They don't play.
They don't play. And if they do play, they play on fear, which means you are going to get minimal activity from that person. They will do the bare minimum just so they can stay off the radar. Their creativity and their genius will never show up because they are too scared. So they'll play based on fear. Your kids, your teenagers, you force them with your church, you force them with anything else, I'm going to tell you right now what's going to happen.
Stop going to church.
They're going to stop listening to you, and you will have no power in their lives anymore because you have become a destroyer. You have taken away the one thing they were given in this life to utilize as a creator, and that was the ability to choose. And in your ignorance, you believe that taking away their choices, which seems to remind me of a bit of a story that we were once told, you believe in your situation it's different. And so you start to force your children, you force people in the organization, you force your downline, your tribe, you force your husband, you force your wife. Bruce has to use force, which I haven't experienced force one time from Bruce. The problem is any outside influence in your life has told you that's the game, even though you want to say the words. For most of you, the feeling following the words is still waiting to come. You want things to be different. So how do we get there? The first stock that somebody has to buy has to be in who?
Yourself.
You. You are your business, period. The business of you. It's not your photography, it's not your juice, it's not your product, it's not your spouse, it's not your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your children, it's not your church, it's not Makoa, it's not Bruce, it's not anybody else, it's not Doug. I have to buy who?
Me.
You. Which means to buy you, I have to know who you are. And what did you experience with Jeff? Deep connection in how long?
What, 30 seconds at
30 seconds. And what did you do? Did you tell some fancy stories and some cool quotes? And you pulled out some cool quotes from Zig Ziglar, and you talked about some neat, you were like, and you shared some redneck jokes from favorite shows? I mean, no. What did you do, bro?
Just told her how I felt.
Now that's freaking crazy. Talk about what you felt. That's retarded. What's the script?